are now listening to The Temple of the Killer Tiger Monkeys. The Temple of the Killer Tiger Monkeys is a John Mitchell story and is brought to you by Cine Downloads. Narrated by Dr. Hugh Pincott. Previously on the Temple of the Killer Tiger Monkeys.
Where is my access mortal?
I told you, that demon's my bitch. I own his ass.
We want to help you, demons.
Is there any way at all we can open the vortex?
There is no way.
All is lost.
And now the next part of the story. Episode 4. Back at the sheltered pond, Yertafgryn and Weuifo curiously study the three protesters. They all have greasy, long, black hair and are dressed in black, with combat boots. Their faces are covered in white makeup, and each has a black peace symbol painted on a cheek. Melvin looks at the others and decides to be the one who instigates the first contact.
Greetings to you, fair abominations of the Netherworld. We are your allies and friends, and we wish you no harm, only to extend to you our warmest regards from Floyd's mum's house.
Floyd is instantly annoyed to have his mum's house brought into this.
What'd you tell him that for? She'll be back next week. She'll go mad if loads of demons end up in her house, in a bedroom, going through a knicker drawer.
Sorry dude, it was the first thing I could think of.
Replies Melvin. Yertafgryn looks at these silly mortals and speaks.
This park is no place for you mortals. You are in great peril here. A darkness has descended upon our kind, and this darkness will envelop you with great relish. You must go back to Floyd's mum's house. Your safety here is not guaranteed.
Yertafgryn waves his hand for emphasis. Ralph steps forward to speak.
Hello there. We are part of a great army of humans who are waiting outside the park gate. We are waiting as we want to set all your demons free.
Yertafgryn sighs as he realizes these mortals are more of the same nutters he met earlier. He turns away and looks at the floor. Weuifo takes an interest and inquires about their motives. Ralph continues.
We have decided that the best way to help free you is to bring the eyes of the world down onto this park so that they can see what is happening here.
Weuifo nods as he listens.
So our group is prepared to smuggle into the park a massive 12.5k sound system and light show to create a massive party. We'll have top DJs including Flash Finger Freddy, Speed Funk Vinyl Smasher, and the awesome Dub Master Swift.
Weuifo doesn't know what he's talking about, and Yertafgryn continues to stare at the floor. Ralph continues.
We have a way into the park, and we'll use our encrypted messenger services to tell the others where the breach is at, and then we'll flash mob the park with 10,000 protesters, all having a mad party.
Floyd joins in.
And we've got drones ready to fly over, filming everything, and people broadcasting on their phones live on Facebook and Twitter. It'll be massive. Everyone all over the world will see what's going on.
Weuifo shakes his panda head and speaks.
Whatever it is that you want to do, with all these people coming in and drongs flying on feet book, it sounds fun, but the king of the camp will send in his warriors and they will smash everything up and throw you all out of the park.
Melvin interrupts.
But they won't, because music brings everyone together. Music is love, man. And once that 12.5k rig starts pumping the bass, all the demons here will want to join hands and party together.
Floyd agrees.
That's true, man. All your demons will want to party with the humans. It'll be like Woodstock all over again.
Yertafgryn was barely listening to these human half-wits, but something one of them said piqued his interest, and he asks a question.
This sound system machine you have, is it loud?
The three protesters start laughing uproariously. Melvin speaks smugly.
This is a 12.5k rig. with full range multiple arrays, no horizontal drop off, and when it flexes hard, it will drop rocks like the Himalayas, baby. It will be like Nepal never happened.
The protesters hoot and screech with excitement.
Yeah, yes, yeah, all right,
Yertafgryn screams inside his head and repeats the question slowly.
So is this sound machine loud?
The protesters see that Yertafgryn is annoyed, and they all vigorously nod in unison. Yertafgryn wants more information.
Can this machine make the floor vibrate with its loudness?
Ralph answers him.
If we get the sound engineer to boost the bass and we drop it down to 16 hertz, we'll get some serious sub-bass going on, and then we can have some mad deep vibrations happening.
Yertafgryn's eyes narrow as he senses an opportunity. He calls Weuifo to one side and speaks to him.
Do you think the vibrations from their sound machine can disrupt the gyroscope inside the vortex centrifuge?
Weuifo thinks carefully and then replies,
I think it will, my old friend. The vibrations from their machine will be organic and not demon-influenced. These very odd humans may be the solution we need to free our brethren from the vortex. It's worth a shot.
Yertafgryn is very pleased and turns to speak to the three protesters.
I agree with your plan.
The protesters yelp with joy and high-five each other.
Yeah, high five!
If you truly wish to free us from this camp, then you must know that the demons who can lead the fight against the Camp King are trapped inside a vortex.
The protesters stop celebrating and listen carefully.
The only way to free them is for the vibrations from your machine to upset the vortex device, so we will need the loudest and heaviest vibrations possible.
The protesters nod in agreement.
If you can do this, then I will get as many demons from the camp as possible to protect your party and fight against the king's warriors until the others are released. And once done, we can all break out of the camp together. Are we in concordance?
Yeah.
The protesters are elated but look confused. Floyd speaks.
I mean, genes, not chords, but we're all dead set on making this happen.
Melvin adds.
Oh yeah, let's party.
Yertafgryn is happy at this agreement and turns to Weuifo.
Weuifo, my friend, I will go and speak to the demons in the camp and tell them of our plan. I will raise a demon army there, and we will take back our freedom.
Weuifo smiles.
I need you to keep things organized here and make sure that these human simpletons deliver on their promise.
Weuifo clasps Yertafgryn's clawed hands with his baby hand and replies,
Don't worry. We shall succeed, old friend.
Yertafgryn nods in appreciation, then quickly turns and heads off towards the camp. The protesters come over to Weuifo, who tells them to get started with the plan. They look at each other and rush off back towards Floyd's mum's house. Yertafgryn carefully walks through the camp with his hood pulled tight over his face. He moves close to demons, who are surprised to see him and also concerned for his safety. They tell him how Dhoiufg and his thugs are terrorizing the camp looking for him, and that all demons have kept silent about him when questioned. Yertafgryn is grateful for this, and he feels pride in the strength of this kinship. Their loyalty to their demon roots convinces him that the plot he has is definitely the right thing to do. He tells each demon as he meets them about the plan and how they need to move over to the far end of the park to form a protective barrier against the king's warriors. This will give the sound machine time to open the vortex so they can free the others. The demons, when they hear this plan, are excited, and Yertafgryn can see the fire come back to their dead eyes. They once more have a purpose and a chance to act like demons again. These demons rush off to secretly pass the plan to other demons. and Yertafgryn continues farther into the camp to spread the word there. Outside Floyd's mum's house, a convoy of large vans parks up in the street. The van doors open, and equipment is quickly offloaded onto the pavement by groups of protesters. This equipment consists of scaffolding, a generator, lights, mixing desk, and all the other tackle needed to outfit a concert DJ performance. Melvin stands on the pavement. The owner of all this equipment is a middle-aged hippie wearing John Lennon round sunglasses and an expensive Italian designer hand-knitted pink cardigan with flowers and teddy bears on it. The owner walks over to Melvin and shakes his hand.
Thank you so much for organising this event, Melvin. It's great that we can raise awareness for the demons and rise against this fascist state oppression, and I'm happy to pay for all this gear to make it happen. I've always had money in life, and now it's time to give the poor people something. Solidarity and equality for all, brother Melvin.
Yeah, baby, rock and roll,
replies Melvin. The owner happily walks away to watch his men struggle with the heavy equipment. Melvin directs them towards Floyd's mum's house. Ralph is standing in the doorway, and as these people arrive, he directs them through the house, into the garden, and over the wall. He points them in the direction they need through the park, and tells them they will be met by Floyd. Floyd is standing with Weuifo, and as the first equipment handlers arrive, he directs them to where they need to set up. A site close by has been chosen. It's a large grassy area the size of a football pitch, which is hidden from the camp's view by a line of tall trees. The stage is to be set up at the far end of this grassy area. The equipment handlers are happy about this and carry the gear over there. The first demons arrive from the camp. They're excited that something positive is finally happening, and they're keen to be part of it. Weuifo directs them to take up defensive positions along the line of trees. As more demons arrive, he will use them to form a ring around the grassy area, blocking out any intrusion from the king's warriors. Dhoiufg and his warriors are working their way around the camp for the 5th time, bullying the same demons and asking the same questions that they have for the last 5 trips around. This time, though, he notices something different. Further up the mud path is a hooded figure. This figure is in clandestine talks with 2 other demons. He decides to take a closer look and moves towards this figure with his henchmen. As he draws close, the 2 demons see his looming shadow fall over the hooded figure, and they are instantly scared. They lock eyes with Dhoiufg, and then immediately break off talks with the hooded figure and scamper off in different directions. The hooded figure, who is Yertafgryn, knows that the game is over. He pulls back his head and turns to face Dhoiufg and his thugs. Dhoiufg stands a few feet away from him now and carefully studies his face. He brings his pitbull snout close to Yertafgryn's face, and his large brown eyes scrutinize Yertafgryn's features. He is unsure and moves his face back, then with his deep, growly voice speaks.
I know every face in this camp, and every demon that wears it, and I'm looking at you, and I don't recognize you at all. Are you the newcomer I am searching for?
Yertafgryn knows from his time in hell that Dhoiufg has a reputation for being as intelligent as a tree stump, so he answers,
No. No, I'm not.
Dhoiufg thinks for a moment. He has a strange feeling that Yertafgryn's answer is somewhat dubious. He can't quite put a finger on why, though. He turns to his henchmen who are standing all around him and gestures for their opinion. The one closest to him nods knowingly that Yertafgryn is the newcomer. Dhoiufg is happy with the confirmation and spins his face round towards Yertafgryn. His fist smashes into Yertafgryn's face, throwing him 20 feet through the air. He crashes into a makeshift shelter with water bottles and plastic chairs flying all over. The dazed Yertafgryn tries to pull himself up off the ground when Dhoiufg slides his mighty hand around his throat and lifts him up off the mud and holds him struggling in the air. He brings his dog breath face close to Yertafgryn's and tells him,
Well, well, newcomer, it's time to meet the king.
Back at the concert area, things are almost complete. The protesters are used to putting together these setups in a hurry due to the number of illegal parties they hold during the year. This one was no different and was put up in record time. The stage and lighting rig are well constructed, with the DJ booth finished. Close by is the engineer's desk with all the amplification equipment next to it, and the 12.5K sound system is already in place and powered by the nearby generator. The giant speakers tower ominously next to the stage. Floyd looks at it all with a deep sense of admiration. About 200 demons have trickled down from the cab and set themselves up as security for the concert. Whilst they're not the most talented at fighting, they should be able as a group to hold off Dhoiufg and his thugs for long enough for the plan to work. Consequently, they're in high spirits. Weuifo is satisfied and goes over to Floyd to tell him that the demons are set. Floyd has one last look around, then phones Melvin to say that they're already up here and that he should get the party started. Melvin receives the call while he's standing in the doorway to Floyd's mum's house. He has the dining table by the front door. On this table are thousands of pink rubber wristbands and a large cash box full of change and small denomination notes. There is a sign above the door written with a marker pen that simply states, Party entrance fee £10 per person. Inside the house, Ralph is standing behind a table in a room through which the party goers will have to walk as they go towards the garden. On his table is a large cash box, like Melvin's, and it's full of cash and notes. Behind Ralph are stacks and stacks of crates of beer. On the table is a sign which reads, Beer, £5 a can. Once Melvin hears from Floyd that they're ready in the park, he uses his phone to send out encrypted messages on social media, letting people know where the party is and how to get there, through Floyd's mum's house. Weuifo and Floyd stand next to each other looking expectantly about events about to happen. Weuifo admires the massive stack of speakers and imagines the pounding vibrations which they emit. Floyd sees him looking at the speakers and says,
I can see you're impressed with his system. We told you it's going to solve your problems with that vortex thing.
Weuifo doesn't speak, but just nods enthusiastically. Floyd continues,
I heard you need it to bounce a gyroscope off its spinning point. So how does the gyroscope thing get power to keep it running?
Weuifo looks at him and smiles with his panda face.
Perpetual motion, my curious mortal friend.
Floyd is shocked to hear this.
Perpetual motion? That doesn't exist, it's impossible. How can you have a perpetual motion machine?
Perpetual motion is old technology. It's been invented numerous times by humans over the past 100 years or so. Every time one is invented, we demons step in and confiscate it, and then kidnap the inventor. The blame always gets levelled at the oil companies.
But why would you do that? Perpetual motion would set the human race free. We'd have free limitless energy. There'd be no more energy shortages. Life would be amazing.
The last thing Satan wants is the human race being free and life being amazing for them. Satan's influence often works through there being shortages on Earth. Shortages of water, food, energy, money. All these and more cause jealousy and greed. So many wars and atrocities are caused by shortages of resources. It causes quite a lot of merriment in hell.
Damn, that's so heavy.
Weuifo shrugs. Floyd is fascinated and asks,
So what happened to the inventor of the vortex perpetual machine in the camp? He was kidnapped,
yes.
right?
Last time it was invented by a man from Pakistan called Mo. Nice man, very clean teeth. We chopped his head off, minced his body, and now play 10-pin bowling with his head.
Floyd is speechless.
You put a finger up each nostril, one in his mouth, and if thrown correctly, you can get some great curl. I think the curl comes from the fact he has a very lovely side parting.
Floyd is dumbfounded and asks,
That's so bad. I'm guessing he's dead while you do this.
No, he's quite alive. In fact, we make him keep score.
Weuifo replies cheerily. Floyd shakes his head.
Hell sounds terrible. I'm glad I won't be going there.
Oh, but you will.
No, I won't. I do lots of good things. I give to charity once a month. Give change to homeless people. I vote green.
Look, none of that matters. The deciding factor is how much time you've spent masturbating.
What? I don't masturbate. I have loads of girlfriends. They take care of that for me.
In hell, I work in the records department. I see everyone's personal file, and I know exactly what you get up to with a plastic bag, a bottle of baby oil, and a large cushion.
Floyd is flustered. He can hardly speak.
They say every time someone masturbates, an angel dies. You've masturbated 187,000 times. That's a lot of dead angels. You're going to hell for sure.
Floyd is almost crying. Weuifo laughs. It didn't take long before the first partygoers showed up at Floyd's mum's house. There was a trickle at first, and then as word spread, there came hundreds more of them. The queue for entry snaked all the way down the street. They paid their £10 entrance fee, received a pink wristband each, and went into the house. Ralph sold them numerous cans of beer, and they traipsed through the house, walking mud, chewing gum and dog shit into the carpets, into the kitchen, and on towards the garden. In the kitchen, they raided the cupboards and fridge, helping themselves to whatever food they found. Some party-goers sneaked upstairs and had a long look around the bedrooms, including inside Floyd's mum's knicker drawer. Once out into the garden, the party-goers, some wearing dressing gowns and dresses they'd found upstairs, stole all the garden gnomes and then climbed the wall at the back and entered the park. The throng of revellers filters into the grassy field in front of the stage. There is a distinct party atmosphere and sense of excitement. Weuifo and Floyd watch happily as the place fills up. A man walks over to where they're standing. This man has a large beard, his hair scraped back into a bun on the top of his head, Ray-Ban aviators tinted, and scuffed black nail polish. He speaks to Floyd.
Hey man, I'm the opening DJ. You know my face, right?
Floyd and Weuifo don't know who he is, but nod anyway to be polite.
Oh yeah, you know me. I'm the awesome Dubmaster Swift. I'm fast, tectonic, ultra pilot, freak styler, and I've got my mix right here on my USB stick. You just show me where the laptop is, I can plug this in, and when you're ready, I'll press play, and the crowd will worship me.
Floyd replies,
Hey man, glad you could come. Just pass your USB stick to the sound engineer over there, he'll sort it out.
That's so cool, man. I made the mix 3 years ago in Ibiza. It's one of my best ones, probably about 11 or 12 best.
Floyd nods and points over at the sound engineer again.
Thanks for paying me in advance. By the way, that's really cool of you guys, but I gotta get my rider sorted out before I go on stage.
Melvin didn't say anything about a rider. You're only here for half an hour.
Explains Floyd.
Yeah, I know, man, but I can't go on stage without my rider. I need tequila and cherryade served in porcelain egg cups, and a Swedish hairstylist to highlight my blonde hair every 3 hours. If I don't have that, I can't play, man.
Weuifo barges Floyd out of the way and grabs Dubmaster Swift with his left baby arms, and then punches him in quick succession with his right baby arms.
Stop that! Stop
As
it!
his arms are so babyish and weak, the punches are very soft,
Stop that!
yet succeed
Stop
in
it.
knocking
Stop it.
the DJ's Ray-Ban aviators tinted
Stop it.
onto the floor. Dubmaster Swift squeals with horror.
Okay, don't damage my accessories, man. I'll fucking play. Just take it easy, man.
Weuifo lets go of the DJ and stands back next to Floyd. Floyd points over to the sound engineer again, and Dubmaster Swift, who is quite shaken, nods in acknowledgement and slowly walks over there, muttering under his breath about crazy fucking pandas. Yertafgryn has been badly beaten. He's unsteady on his feet, dazed, and his wrists have been locked with chains, secured with satanic runes. Dhoiufg stands behind him with his enormous fists primed for punching. In front of him stands Efuhofcn, who has descended from his throne of burning German cars and now poses triumphantly in front of Yertafgryn. Efuhofcn's bodyguards and assorted thugs stand around watching. The temporal vortex machine is 10 feet away and is flanked by 2 ugly, rhinoceros-themed demons. Yertafgryn's eyes it covertly before his attention is brought back to Efuhofcn, who looks at him with disdain, then speaks.
So, you entered this camp, my camp, illegally. Didn't sign any forms, insulted a very good friend of mine, and then you tried to raise a rebellion.
Yertafgryn says nothing and stares at the floor.
You are new here, fresh off the goblin boat from hell. So I understand that you don't know how things work in this camp. Now, I don't know what position you held in hell. You might be a high-status demigod demon, or even greater than that, but none of it matters. Here, you are nothing but one of my subjects. I rule here. This is my kingdom, and there are rules which need to be followed. Do you understand?
Yertafgryn says nothing and continues to stare at the floor. This annoys Efuhofcn, who motions to Dhoiufg. Dhoiufg understands what he wants and swings a massive fist at the back of Yertafgryn's head. The giant fist plows Yertafgryn to the floor, but it takes some time for him to gather his senses. Once his head stops spinning, he slowly climbs back to his feet. Efuhofcn waits patiently for him to stand and then asks,
Do you understand?
Yertafgryn looks at him and nods slowly. Efuhofcn is satisfied and waves over his toady, who has a large selection of paperwork in his talons.
Well, as you came in here illegally, we have some paperwork that you must catch up on. It's all standard forms from the council in the city. Everyone here has signed them before they entered the camp.
The toady stands next to Efuhofcn, who reaches over and takes some forms. He looks at them with interest.
Well, here are the forms. There's this one, which I don't know what it is. It's written in that strange writing humans have. It needs to be signed, as do all these others.
He looks through them.
Where are the pens we were promised?
The toady pulls a selection of pens from a fleshy pouch in his buttocks. He hands them over. Efuhofcn tries to handle them with his large, clumsy claws and nearly drops them all.
So, which colour do we need? Red, green, or blue?
The toady shrugs.
Well, I guess it has to be red as we are evil, I suppose.
I'm not signing any forms.
Yertafgryn says quietly. Efuhofcn half hears him.
I'm not signing any forms. Humans don't own me.
Efuhofcn goes into a rage and throws the pens at Yertafgryn's face. The pens bounce off and fly all over. The toady rushes off to collect them.
You will sign these important forms.
Efuhofcn roars. Yertafgryn is agitated but remains unmoved and solid. Seeing this, Efuhofcn is further enraged and grabs the forms. He rips them to shreds while screaming. This episode was brought to you by Cine Downloads, narrated by Dr. Hugh Pincott. Today's episode featured Doug Bradley as Yertafgryn the Demon, Simon Banford as Weuifo the Demon, Nicholas Vince as Efuhofcn the Demon, John Ian Dredge as Dubmaster Swift, Louis Thomsen as Dhoiufg the Demon. Other voices provided by Paul Cooper, Brandon Armitage, Shaun Gregson, John Mitchell. Written, produced, edited and directed by John Mitchell. Co-produced by Chris Ball Hero. Sound recorded by Louis Thomsen, Chris Ball Hero. Sound engineer Andrew Doc Collins. Theme tune by Jed Gray. Thank you for listening, and watch out for the next episode of the Temple of the Killer Tiger Monkeys.